since I abandoned you, bereft of all hope at the sight of this building, this 19-story wonder. Dubious history? Oh yes. Connections to the Astors and the DuPonts? Check, check. No wonder my knees went all shaky at the very thought of this being constructed in 1906. Do I believe it? Nay, not a word. But you already know. And follow that by this dumpy little covered bridge. These things are often given special attention in these surveys, and I don't really know why. I mean, I could see that the base here looks really old world, but the top always kind of looks like a wood slatted kind of, just kind of boring. I mean, if I built one, I'd want people to shower me with warm praise, but, I don't know, in the context of things, it doesn't really stand out too much. Sort of like these rather contemporary, understandable mid-American homes along Route 40 here. Route 400? My memory escapes me. I can't retain all the zeros. The Congress of Women's Clubs of Western Pennsylvania. This seems like it's someone who's willing to play ball a little bit, don't you think? Curious how these get swallowed up like this. The bricks are alive and eating everything. Here's your traditional home, early century Pennsylvania, with these here windows right below them other windows. I do believe we've seen that before. Oh, that's unnecessary. The address is right here. It's where you go to get mineral water. Everybody knows that, Jimmy, so put the freaking sign down. And now these are kind of jumping around a little bit. I think this is in Alexandria, and I think it's required in the city to be missing at least one window pane. From a place called 40 Fort. It looks like it's taken an earlier date. This photo, it looks like we get some hand-me-down boots here that don't quite fit yet. You'll grow into them, Richard. It's kind of obvious already, isn't it, that the divide between the peasants and the elite, the people staying in that hotel, and then the people living out here in these wooden shacks. You gotta wonder how close in age these kids are. I mean, are they all from the same mom? Basically one every year? This farm ain't gonna work itself. Here we are at the Benjamin Rush birthday place. How did I know it was Philadelphia? Well, how do I say this without insulting somebody? Here. This is where Benjamin Rush was born, right there. At the doghouse. We're gonna call this club the Colonial. I don't know if you can get away with that today. It's a little... Man, I love those style of cars. I'd kill for a car like that. You hear me that, America? I'd kill. Little church on the side of the road with a little graveyard. And this, you just know you're in Philadelphia when you see the finish on the buildings like this. Like, it is so unique and just really it's a style that is often described as complete garbage. Lots of storm cellars in the front yards. I don't know if that's normal, but it is here. In the land of broken dreams. Now you can picture this amazing herringbone sidewalk, by the way. I'd like to point that out. But you can actually picture this as being running water. And you get a strong feel for what it must have been like one day on these streets. As a matter of fact, if you kind of just close your eyes halfway and let it get blurry, you can just see the water flowing down. By God. And then slowly the water dries up, and all you're left with is a layer of mud. And then dysentery sets in, and the entire town is wiped out, and later on a bunch of orphans come and go, wee, free houses. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know how it went down, but... And this always brick structures looking like they will be at least 100 years old and still look the same way. Built at the same time and occupied by the same people as this here. Yeah, sure. This one clearly made in imitation of the buildings that have been here. I mean, they actually need this bell probably for the schoolyard, but I mean, look at it's like, you don't need all that fancy shit for a bell. You just put up this half a doghouse here, and it'll do just fine. So explain to me again why y'all buildings got that? This one's being fumigated for ghosts, and I can tell by the impressive head and shoulders this stands above the rest that this must be some sort of a financial building. Or, municipal. I might have known. Only the best for the best, you know. Now, I know that the world is being sharply divided along lines, but I feel it's very interesting that suddenly, because the news repeating this crap and all the clowns just jumping on it and going, yeah, conspiracy theory, it's like, if you ask questions, there's something wrong with you. Like, if you want to explore your world rather than accept the first thing you're ever told, there's something wrong with you. I say there's something wrong with you. When you look at a building like this, and you may know nothing about construction, nothing about architecture, nothing about anything, and someone points out to you these 4 windows in a row and asks as to why they are crooked. Why is this one showing 1, 2.5 layers of brick? This one's showing pretty much just 2. This one's showing 1. This one's showing none. Clearly, we're slanting downwards. Now you're left with three options. Either the entire building is slowly sinking over time, which is strange because that doesn't seem to normally really happen to buildings that have been around for 100, 200 years, but okay, that is an option. Option number two would be that at one point the ground rose, or layers of dirt and concrete were piled on top of each other for some random reason and lifted this way. And when they did that, they did it crookedly. Okay. Or they built this intentionally this way. They liked the look of lopsidedness, and they wanted this, and they intended to make windows that they would then board up. Now, which of those seems the most likely? You can start using your brain to critically think anytime you'd like. You just have to cast off the shackles of yesterday. This is the shopping. The Greenville shops, we're told. Oh boy, can't wait to go get me a new pair of Adidas. And the usual. This is Larry here to the building inspection, and I see you've got some windows knocked out. Okay, well, good job. That fits the Philadelphia bill. I'll be leaving now. A+. What a weird-ass building. It looks like one of those pilgrim ladies' hats out of paper that they used to make in, like, elementary school as a synagogue. And here we come to the most familiar shape of them all. The puffy brick, four-pronged church tower with these little pineals and the big magnetron-looking window and the submerged, as evidenced by this lower level underneath and the top-heavy door. This is the same type of building that you'll find everywhere. I mean everywhere. Africa, Australia, New Zealand, England, everywhere. Because, I guess, all the colonizers were magical stonemasons at the same time. They built them everywhere. Yeah, right. These things stand out like a sore thumb. And I'm pretty sure they came with the land, bub. Hey, Rick, did you hear that? You can feel great and still have high blood pressure. Hey, this is not the right place. This is Florida. Be gone. Sad that I know that. This is a Bethlehem steel mill. And this isn't that old. This isn't even historic that I know of. This is part of the engineering record. And they got a little bit mixed up in here because it's very difficult to obtain all these photos. And if you ever go visit the website to look at these yourself, because you're tired of my commentary or whatever, you'll see. I think you'll spend about half an hour there, and you'll come back and be like, F that. That is so ponderous. And now how are you going to have this railroad company and have abandoned buildings on your property already? What railroad company builds a building to use as part of the railroad and then boards it up and abandons it after a while? You see, they didn't build this. Otherwise, they would have built it so they could use it. I mean, it just doesn't. It's not that hard to figure out. These buildings were here first, and they just made them what they would. Got use out of them, built a steel mill around them. I don't know. I mean, they don't even make sense side by side. For example, we're going to build this building that's going to, I don't know, serve as some functional purpose alongside this railroad track here. Okay, cool. I know. Let's build these big arches like this, and then let's board them up, and two of them we'll cut doors into so we can kind of use them, but the rest of them we'll just leave. It's like, why? And not only that, but you did it here too. You did it here too. Did it here too. Did it here too. Why would you do that? The correct answer would be, you would not do that. This was served some other purpose. And they moved into it, set up shop. Now they might have built these. I don't know. I can't see those very well. It's the only thing that makes sense. And no matter how ludicrous, the impossible, once you rule out the impossible, you have to consider everything else. And it doesn't matter how ludicrous it is. Here you go. Another one. Outstanding brickwork, massive columns, huge archway and bay window, some classic geometric shapes. Whoever built this would be so proud of themselves, their baby, especially in the 1900s. But we're going to walk away from it. My house is 50 years old. You have to really try to abandon your house to make it look like this. Unless, of course, it's much older. Or you have no emotional tie to it. It was just already there. It was already junk. It was already abandoned. And you just kind of used it for a little while and then just, left it how it was. Which makes more sense. This looks like it's made of plaster. Nice little old world bridge here. The concrete's hard to tell because I believe they had concrete then too. But either way, I like this style. And here's a nice looking, wow, all right. This is, it's in York County. It's in York, so it's not in Philadelphia. I thought for a second there that there was some hope for Philadelphia remaining, but no. And this looks like it got the old world base and a rinky-dinky little modern top. We're back on Walnut Street in Philadelphia, and this looks decent. All right, Jimmy. She's like, excuse me, can I help you? No, miss, just running a survey in my creepy sunglasses. How amazing. I know, pretty impressive, huh? You wait till you see the next one. Boom. Look at that bad boy. What happened here? Why is this even worthy of a picture? Well, that does not look very modern or historic at all. There you go. Got the water level over there. And can you picture water slowly rising? Maybe tide comes in day after day, after day after day, slowly eroding the sand, going back, bringing it back, going back, bringing it back, until eventually the bottom of the buildings look like this. Then you come along and you pave over the top. That's how you get this. You don't set out to build this. This doesn't happen over time without something interfering. And again, the care and love in which they've shown these properties is just astounding. So when was Philadelphia ever complete? When were these buildings ever nice? Never? It was always just abandoned? Because that's what it's starting to seem like. And that's freaking weird. What is this, Disneyland down the street? All this cobblestone? And looking like a nice little Dutch village along the water. So here's the nice parts of Philadelphia where the Richie Riches live. Oh, that little bandstand wired directly. It's interesting. I wonder about that. And here's your new Airbnb. It's to let yourself in, this little lockbox. The maids are almost done, so it'll be just about ready to be occupied, okay? If you could just give us a few minutes, yeah. And here, wow, we have sense made in the world. For this is indeed called Bowman's Castle. For that is what it is. At least there's somebody calling it straight. Excellent work. No telling how you built this, or for what, but still. And this is your outhouse. Well, I wonder what that is on such a thing. Decorative outhouses don't need a decorative ornamental knob on the top, do they? Mine certainly don't. I like this picture because it's got this contrast here, because you got three basically eras of bridge technology. You got this old stone, you got this steel, and you got this concrete. It's kind of a little time pod there. And the decor on this one is pretty amazing. The ornamentation and just so cool. Stuff we're not doing now. Oh, and of course, it's a freaking trust building. It's a bank. Of course it's nice. Oh, wow, look next door. And okay. That old world culvert. Look at that. Look at the difference. Today's bridges, one block concrete. The culverts of yesterday, I mean, it's just so well done. And this dirt almost looks like water. You can actually see it flowing through and just freezing into mud. That is just the old world, man. They did it right. They really did. Whoever they were. I mean, look at the bridge. This bridge must have looked fantastic. But no. And now all these pieces of rubble lying around, like clearly it got demolished by something. Maybe too much water took it out. I don't know. It's all such a mystery. And it seems to be a mystery that nobody really gives a shit about, except for a handful of people online. You know, this looks like it's made out of feta cheese, and so I kind of like it. I would say modern. And here's your room, Jimmy. I'll show you your room. Here's your quarters, Mr. Wilson. Breakfast is at 8. Oh, goody. Do I get to keep the coffee cup? I'd say this is older. This is a lovely hotel, Richard. Yes, but I do worry about what's going on with the upstairs neighbors, though. That's Pennsylvania. But I was promised this on the brochure. Look at the happy man mowing the lawn, the lady over there with a dead bird on her head. I see no such things. I see this. I see abandonment. I see an entirely out of place magic castle looming in the horizon. Built by otherworldly aliens. I mean, literally, it looks like it's built from otherworldly aliens. Like angels built that. How have we not noticed this before? When you're a kid, you do, but it's like no one listens to you. You're like, hey, Mom, what's that? And she's like, that's nothing, honey. And you're like, okay. They're calling this a furnace. Okay, I mean, I agree that it's old. Hinged brickwork here is dope, but a furnace? Like just a communal furnace? Just for anyone to go out and put coals in and make it warm? I don't know. And here you are. Wow. Ridiculous. I don't know what building this is too, but the fact that this exists is ridiculous. It's so ornate. If it was so easy back in the 1900s, why don't we do it now? Here you go. Here's another one. What is the purpose of this up here? Somebody tell me? What's the purpose of this apparatus? Is it by design? No. It clearly has function. And over here we got... I don't know what's going on here. Oh, you fit the criteria, dude. Hell yeah. Welcome to Philadelphia. Home of that busted out window, dude. If you ain't got no busted out window, you can't be in Philadelphia. Again, what's up with all these doors leading to the same place? I guess maybe there might be barn doors for different animals, but still. Oh, and that's just a mere residence. Oh, certainly, of course it is. With the Moroccan stripes here and the wrought iron. No broken windows? You can't be in Philadelphia. An outlier. Chef Rump and Sons. Why, get your leather from Rump. We'll get your rump in this leather. What a ridiculous building to sell furniture out of. This modest 17th century modern cottage is being restored. The excavations. The excavations must not be disturbed and are dangerous. All children and others are warned to stay away. I want to put that sign on my front door. The excavations are dangerous and children must be stayed away. And look at the obvious nature of the old school, old world stone and this. Very curious structure here. A round barn, we're told. It's a blacksmith's shop. And trains are just an interesting... Kind of fun to seeing these old buildings with these new pipes poking out of the top. This leg of the tour, I admit, is rather boring. The engineer stuff is less exciting to me, unless there's an obvious deception in there. The deception to me seems like pretending like this place is still functioning, when I really don't think it is. The windows are smashed out. Granny ain't coming back, Cage. The bridge, yeah, lots of bridgers. This not looking like it's from the old world, but pretty neat nonetheless. And again, just everything boarded up. A random furnace. So believable. There's a foreboding building. Oh, the old Carnegie Free Library. I'm sure it's another Carnegie Free Library. Nothing to see here, people. Just a little, just thought it looked cool, that's all. And, yeah, you built this just so you could sell greeting cards out of it. And yeah, fucking right. More smashed windows. More smashed windows. Jesus. Finally, a decent-looking property. For fuck's sake. And look at this old world beauty. How cool is that? Oh, this is the Carson College for Orphan Girls. Of course it is. Oh, why don't you step on up, little orphan girls? You're gonna just love it here. You'll note the way we made the eyes. The windows look like eyes, like that one city in Romania. Oh, yeah. This was a little bit different, but we had to trim it up a little bit, make it like gingerbread. And you'll notice we put a mother goose and a little baby doll there. We felt it was more appropriate than the gargoyles that would normally be there. You're going to just love it. Oh, yeah, Mother Goose lives here, too. Oh, yeah, those towers are original. We built them for no reason. They must be in on the fix, these Carson City for college orphans. Of course, looks like a Hansel and Gretel house. Come on in, you little orphan girls. Oh, yes. We're going to fatten you up for a Christmas feast, aren't we? Roll you around in some char crust seasoning. Man, there's just no shortage. This Pennsylvania is just full of these buildings, man. Just full of them. And they all look like this, basically. They look like dumps. Oh, I'm sorry. I spoke too soon. Children, gather round. Now you see, Johnny here went to college. He went to a place with these big, giant doors. For no reason, of course. There was little doors cut into them. But still, the doors were there. And they cost thousands and thousands of dollars more. But it made sense. Then they put these statues in here. These little gargoyles and all of it. They constructed it so gorgeously it would last for 1,000 years. That's right. And when Johnny went through these doors, he felt great. Then there's Robin. Robin didn't go to college. He fucked around digging ditches for a living or whatever. And this is what happened to him. He lived in a dirt hovel, surrounded by trash, garbage. So you see, boy, you buy into the system, you get this. This here's a cathedral, of course. But you could get this one, too. You might be thinking this is a Capitol building. No. Just a cathedral. Just a cathedral in Altoona, Blair County, Pennsylvania. Nothing to see here. Nothing special about this building here. No reason for this here. Just decorations. Move along. And there's no reason to assume just because we have buildings and churches that look exactly like Roman ones that these aqueducts have anything to do with anything. Because they don't. And if you ask those questions, you're stupid. Here we have another mysterious little bandstand thing. Wonder what went here. It's like a Hershey's Kiss on the top. Probably used to be. And here we are. Question for you, general public. Do you think that the windows looking like this on this side and looking like this on this side, do you think that's a good look? Or do you think it's a rather stupid look? I can't make up my mind. Please help me. And again, what is the meaning of this? What is the meaning of this? You cannot tell me that they just chose this stylistically. This serves a function. This used to serve a function. Something's missing from here. What is it, America? It's important that we know. No, it's not. It's important that I build a big train station that looks basically like a big middle finger. Fuck you. And this is, of course, with this gingerbread trim, how most central railroads look. Naturally, this one would as well in the small town of Bethlehem. This looking like a Dutch village, but no. This is a Jim Thorpe station and Central Railroad. It stays remarkably intact. And here we are, another Central Trust Company with another amazing building, of course. Johnny Public, you get nothing of the sort. Here, you can have this, whatever this is. And what are these? Piles and piles and piles of bricks? But this place is completely abandoned? What the hell's going on here? Oh, you gotta be kidding me. This is a glass factory with windows like that. You can't make this stuff up, folks. Welcome to the city of Arnold. And yeah, look, again, just abandoned building. Hi, it's my first time here. Oh, wow, welcome. Look around, if you will. Yes, you guys are a glass company, huh? What kind of glass do you specialize in? Broken ones? So here you go. Why would you build this building with all these windows? Unless it was for something else, something escaping from here, or coming out of here, emanating out of here. So even these early railroad guys didn't build this shit. Not the initial structures. I mean, everything's back engineered. They sure picked up on how to build them real quick. Yeah, totally normal. Yep, nothing to see here, as to be expected. Nothing suspicious here. My God. And what a ridiculous store. I don't even know. I mean, 90% of these properties are abandoned. This is ridiculous. What the Pennsylvania, you really are just a mystery to me right now. Now, out of all the states, Pennsylvania has by far the most exhibits in this National Historic Registry. I mean, it's not even close. They have 3,000 or 4,000. The next closest, I think, is Texas, when it's much larger of a state, and it has a few thousand. There were, 200 left? Because they really went to work on these historic buildings. They really... Tinkler Company. Yeah, that looks about right. Awesome bridge there. No one created by the modern man. We don't give a shit about making beautiful things. Oh, wow. The Chinese YMCA. Jesus. And this. Utterly preposterous to feel the need for this. Just form, huh? No function. Another impossibility. Onion tops here. This one obviously could go down another store or two. Big old round granaries. Often very suspicious. Well, look at that. How beautiful. Richard, is this for me? You shouldn't have. And here we have, this kind of looks like Bill Murray. Most sinister of faces. Ah, I see. You boys. You know what's going on, don't you? I'll bet you do. You know exactly what's going on. With these evil-looking men, I hope these guys don't come knocking on your door. What's up, Failer? Look, fellas, can we talk this over, dude? I didn't...
After we made our way from where the gentleman killed father, we buried him underneath the oak tree and continued our long journey down the canal that was passing for a road in those days, ending up back at the cemetery where father was, this time with a nice stone castle that seemed rather sunken into the ground, as if there'd been a disaster here. Many men were buried there, so they say. Whoever they is, they do say it. And one day, I'll count my name amongst the they, and I'll be part of the they, and they will continue to say it, and I'll make sure of it. Then an old man gave me instructions on how to run a cider press, which I've included here for you, and a strange painting with a woman concealing the left eye of a prominent person. And I thought to myself, I wonder if in the future celebrities and political figures will often be seen photographed covering one eye. What could it mean? Perhaps nothing. Sister says I'm crazy. Then, next door to Mitchell's, we built a castle that'll stand the test of time. Though they won't call it a castle then, so I'm told. They'll call it a library. Finally, we made it to Grandma's house. There she is. There's Grandma, right there above the dresser, if you couldn't tell. Yes, that's right. Grandma was a flower.
Sorry to slip into character like that, but I do that from time to time. And if you spent any time on this ridiculous channel, you'll have discovered this on your own. Another baby? What is it with Philadelphia and babies running around? And what have we here? A scavenger of blocks? Deconstruction or construction? Is he wearing a plague mask? No, thank you, sir. Stay away from me. And my child. Candles Creek for the showers and hookups, but not the sexy kind, you pervert. These two. And just what do you mean by that? What do you mean you're clothed thoroughly, Jenkins? Who gave you permission? Did they take... Looks like they took this picture from the inside of a building, or was this just how the street lamps would hang back then? It's kind of bizarre. That's an amazing bridge. And based on the columns here, the fact that there's any decorative piece at all implies to me that this was not built by a modern man. I wonder if these at one point housed like lighting for it. I wonder. But not for too long, because Pennsylvania, we have much to go. So little time! And that seems like a strange way to build a house. Unless, of course, you're planning on abandoning it within a few years, which clearly they were, so carry on. Nothing to see here. A restaurant. And yet another in a series of non-castles that dot the countryside. And nothing to see here either, as it's been forcibly removed. Here as well. And yes, rather telling, isn't it, that here you have these modern-age cranes, technological wonders, and yet, here in the foreground, a still standing building that was made by donkeys and ropes and especially hearty men. This fire escape, designed just so you can come outside and scream for help and burn to death alive while everyone watches. That was a dark thought. Amazing bridge, 2 amazing 4-hour times. Wow. That the same one? No, it's not. Well, maybe. It makes me wonder. This wasn't built for a railroad then, was it? Because what are these then? Unless that was built for a railroad too. No. I think not. I think the river was wild in those days. And here be a mystery. I think that perhaps this came later, as in it wasn't designed for doors, but probably water. just a guess based on what it empties into here. And why the rubble and their beams. So from whence come these beams? From whence, Pennsylvania? And another covered bridge beauty. Again, with the interesting parts being the bases on either side. And again, the rubble, implying there was more behind that locked door of mystery. Look, it's like those Indian houses they tell us, where they had the ladders to climb up and then they'd pull the ladders up so the invading tribes would be like, "Oh, flummoxed again." Wait, I've already been here. I recognize that awning. I mocked it earlier. Damn it! Wreaths of eternity have gone missing. What a shame. Yeah, that looks right. All this stone and brick, and then these wooden stairs. Yeah, that seems right. All I need to see of this photograph is this, to know that I'm in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania, where glass and windows are universally despised. They wouldn't let him get close, so we had to do that. Well, no one's going to take a picture of my house without me standing near it. I'm not sure what's historical about this. A historical bit of nothing. Or actually, this is from the engineering record, so... And this is too. Amazing engineering, isn't it? What is it? Well, I don't know. Some sort of a dam. Dam and lock. Anyone who's ever been downtown anywhere in the United States has seen this, whatever this is, and this, and this. It's everywhere. It's inescapable, and it's not stylistic any more than this is. The balcony of nowhere. Damn, I thought that, what is that? First I thought that was like a jet ski. Now I realize it's a chunk of a tree. Oh, I see. This is where you park your cannon, huh? I wonder what these symbols mean. Is it just the insignia of the farm? A lot of weird old farmhouses out here, but at least they look normal. Like, it looks like they're constructed by... I don't know about these designs, though. This is my room, and I'm going to paint a big heart outside the window so all the boys know which one to throw eggs at. Have to look into those. Look at that mud-flooded disaster. Dang. See, these are so intricate. I wonder why they're there and what for. And I'm going to put a pony on mine. Why are they there? That's really kind of interesting. They must be the various, like, brands of cattle, I guess? But some of these are, very old world looking. They don't make any sense why they'd be on these buildings. These old farmers painted them? Yeah, right. I don't understand. Decorated red barn, that's all it says. This is more than decorations. This means something else. I don't know what it is. But they're not even consistent. This looks like a surprised robot. Ooh, very strange. Very strange. I don't get it. The usual here on Delaware Street. Probably the finest looking street in Philadelphia. Or Delaney Street, I'm sorry. Only the most wealthy of Philadelphians go there. Now, if that doesn't look like an ancient bridge, then I'll be jiggered. Whoa, electric company, huh? Electric company with this amazing Greek look. I wonder if that lends any credence to the thought that these old buildings were, in fact, old electric companies. Could it be that they made a mistake and they repurposed it as the same purpose as its original purpose? Walk bikes? The hell for? Especially if the speed limit's only 20 miles. Like what? On the one place the car's slow, you want me to get off my bike? The old railroad station. Right by the old railroad station bridge. Bridge is available. Please call. I think this is that one. Is this that one bridge that is notoriously low and continually takes the top off of trucks? It sure looks like it. Oh, shocking. Large amounts of amazing machinery left to rot. It's just so Pennsylvania of you. Gas house, huh? More like smashed glass house. I'll be here all week, folks. If I've kept my job. What is that? Who cares? Abandon it. What's that over there? Who cares? Abandon it. Abandon that track. Abandon those bushes. Abandon that outhouse. Abandon all things. Jimmy, is that you taking a piss? Get out of the frame. I know, dude. I've got this idea. I'm going to do an artsy shot. I'm like going to put like this boarded up like cabin like in the foreground and everything else will be kind of blurry. Do you think that'll be cool for the survey? I wonder if this is the very first one they ever did. After this, they're like, okay, well, thousands of pictures of trash. Maybe next time we should just do, historical buildings that are actually still buildings. I'm sure. You built this covered bridge and it just dilapidated in like a few years. Great idea putting the door over here, both. That way we can invite people to exit the building that way, and then they fall, and they tumble down the thicket. Then we can sneer at them from the top and go, well, one day I'm going to build this wall, but for now I'm going to put this little bunch of concrete blocks out there. Just to keep him and them gophers from falling in that hole. Wow, how historic. This is exactly the same as this. Same era, same constructor, no doubt. The Hulk came through here and got so mad at the staircase he just ripped it away. He said, get your own staircase, that one's mine. And where the beautiful people live. They're not all destitute in Philadelphia, you know. And look at that. And would you just look at it? Oh my god. I wonder if this was like a parking hangar for small dirigibles. If not, I just don't understand the point of it. But this is amazing. And then that shit sign. It's like, yep, we built this. And then we built this little piece of trash put it on top to advertise how cool it was. I'm sure. Yeah, definitely comparable. Definitely comparable. I'm gonna put this trellis up here. We've discovered their secret plans. Now we know exactly what direction they want the vines to grow. Whoa, hold on. Let me make sure I'm still in the right state. Damn, that's an amazing palace. And you think that this was built by some pioneer guy. This is what you think the United States looks like, but really it looks like this. Or at least, this is our past and this is our future. What is the point of these? And why is there like a face on that door of a guy who's like showing regret? The doors have faces. Damn. Chickens. 39 cents. What the fuck? Alright, buddy. Just walk through the frame and then act like you don't notice what we're here. It'll be good for business. Picture a nice middle-class woman just happily strolling casually, safely near Knapp's bar. Don't tell them that it's really a dastardly place for the darker denizens of Philadelphia to hang out. Wouldn't do. Ah, yes, the typical farmhouse, coupled with the style that is known all around the world for being favored by farmers. They love little flourishes like this. At least in this part of the country, they don't abandon their chateaus. A fan complex, huh? What the hell they do here? Well, they do nothing. But they used to make fans here. They call the workers fanboys. Wonder how they discovered that. Actually, I think I know. If I see one more abandoned building, I'm going to lose my mind. And I don't really know what this is supposed to be picturing, but... okay. I guess on this note, I'm not sure why this is included in there, but I guess on this note I will call it a day. Look, Mom, the first Taco Bell.
Hey, Mom, you know this guy out here?
Been spotted. Quick, through the window.
Goodbye, Pennsylvania.